Temple Terrace City Council. I'd like to remind everybody to please turn off your cell phones, electronic devices, and if you would, please stand and join us in an invocation in the pledge.
Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you and praise you for the gift of this day. We thank you for gathering us here this evening. We ask your blessing this evening upon all of our elected officials, Mayor Ross and all those who will be sworn in tonight, and all those who serve this local community. We ask for an outpouring of your Holy Spirit upon them, that they may be granted right judgment and wisdom and understanding, that the decisions that they make will always be guided by justice and always with the common good in mind. And we ask all of these things in your name. Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Bishop. The first order of business are the minutes from our November 17th meeting. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion or corrections to the minutes? If not, all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Persons wishing to be heard on items not listed on the agenda, we have one request to speak. A 3-minute time limit will be imposed on all comments. We do ask that speakers come to the podium and begin with their name and city of residence first. During public comment on items not on the agenda, we want to assure all our residents that all of your comments are taken seriously and will be followed up upon. We have one request to speak from Leslie Jones. Already, yes ma'am.
Just to get in costume.
Welcome, Ms. Jones.
Thank you.
You certainly look festive tonight.
Thank you. I was hoping to. Now to find my paperwork. As I said, my name is Leslie Jones. I'm here representing the Temple Terrace Juniors, Juniorettes, and the Women's Clubs. Our Breakfast with Santa and our Tour of Homes fundraisers have been postponed until next year. We have joined our clubs together this year for one major fundraiser, and it's called Illuminate Temple Terrace, or as we like to say, let's get lit on New Year's Eve in Temple Terrace. We are offering luminary kits for everyone, everywhere, to decorate as a craft project with your family and friends, put names on the bags like they do for Relay for Life, or whatever you'd like to do, and then light them in your driveway on New Year's Eve to show our community will survive, to show support for our local clubs who support our community. The kits are only 2 for $5 or 5 for $10. So let's get lit on New Year's Eve in Temple Terrace the safe way. Neighborhoods can compete for the most lights, give them as Christmas gifts, be with your friends and family safely while doing something different. The sky's the limit. So go to www.ttjuniors.org to order your kits either online or to get an order form that you can send in with your check. Or you can come by the Woodmont Clubhouse on Saturday, December 12th from 9 a.m. to noon if you want to pay cash or pick them up. We do have delivery available. If you have any questions, just ask a member from any of our GFWC Temple Terrace groups. And those are the juniors, the juniorettes, and the women's clubs. It's to help our fundraisers and support the community. So go to ttjuniors.org. You can go on Facebook, etc. It's hashtag TTGetLit2021. So let's get lit in Temple Terrace on New Year's Eve and blow out 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. So the next order of business is the recognition of incoming mayor, me. For those of you who may be watching at home and may have not tuned into our meetings for the past 8-9 months or so, it's a little awkward here tonight because I'm introducing my own. What did I miss? Oh, I did do that, didn't I? Thank you very much. See, I've goofed up already. I'm not even sworn in yet, right?
So you got that out of the way.
Yeah, like that's the first time that's happened, right? First order of business is a resolution declaring the municipal election results. Our city attorney, Pam Shoshone, will explain.
In accordance with the city's charter, the regular election of the city council was held on Tuesday, November 3, 2020, in conjunction with the Hillsborough County and State of Florida elections. One resident, Andrew Ross, submitted the required documentation and qualified to be placed on the ballot for one seat as mayor. Florida Statute 101.151 subsection 7 states that names of unopposed candidates shall not appear on the ballot, that each unopposed candidate shall be deemed to have voted for himself, and so the unopposed candidate for mayor, Andrew Ross, shall therefore be declared duly elected to the office of mayor of the city of Temple Terrace. 3 residents of Temple Terrace submitted the required documentation and qualified to be placed on the ballot for one open seat on city council. Following the election on Tuesday, November 3, 2020, the Hillsborough County Canvassing Board met and certified the results of the Temple Terrace municipal election. It is recommended that the results of the November 3, 2020 municipal election declaring Meredith Abel duly elected to the office of city council member be declared to be certified, valid, and accepted in accordance with the charter of the city of Temple Terrace and Florida statutes.
Good, thank you. Is there public comment on this item? If not, council members, any questions?
That means you got one vote?
I got one vote.
One vote, that's good.
Couldn't even get my wife to vote for me. I just got one. If there are no questions, is there a motion to accept the resolution declaring the municipal election results?
I move to approve the acceptance of the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have accepted the results of the election. Okay, now, for those of you who might not have been watching for the past 8 or 9 months, I was kind of abruptly became the acting mayor in March. So I've been serving as the acting mayor since then until tonight when I'll be sworn in as the regular mayor. So it's a little unusual that I'd be introducing myself. But I would like to introduce a very special guest we have tonight, Bishop Gregory Parks, who is from the diocese, the Catholic Diocese of St. Petersburg. Bishop Parks, it's a great honor to have you with us tonight, and Father Carl. It's a tremendous duty to be bishop in this diocese. This is a 5-county diocese with about 500,000 Catholics. We have almost 80 parishes and missions throughout these 5 counties. We have about almost 50 Catholic schools, not counting the myriad of ministries and organizations that all fall under that umbrella. So it's a great honor, not just to me, but to all of us to have the bishop here tonight to do this. I've been very fortunate to have been able to meet the bishop on several occasions and spend a little bit of time with him. And I'll tell you that besides being bishop, he's just a tremendous guy. Really, I wish each of you could get to meet him and know him a little bit. He's just one of those people that's just fun to be around. I mean, he's just a very warm and compassionate person. So it's a great honor to introduce Bishop Parks. And on a side note, his brother Stephen was recently appointed bishop in the Diocese of Savannah. So it's a 2-bishop family here, which is, I don't know if you're the only ones in the country, but you can't be that many of you. Yeah, so that's wonderful. So, Bishop, I think if you will meet me down here, we'll swear me in.
And I'm also 6'8" and the tallest bishop in the United States of America. So we have that going for us.
It's impressive in many ways. So, Lori, tell us how to do this. tell us? You want me to come over here? Sure. Stand up. Well, Chief Albano does it kind of like this. There you go. Does that work? Okay, very good.
You can vote Obama.
If you would repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Andrew Ross,
A citizen of the state of Florida
a citizen of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America,
and of the United States of America,
and being employed by
and being employed by
or an officer of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
or an officer of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
and a recipient of public funds,
and a recipient of public funds,
as such employee or officer,
as such employee or officer,
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
do hereby solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida.
I further swear
I further swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will in all respects
that I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of mayor.
of the office of mayor.
Mayor Ross, congratulations.
Yeah, but I want you too. Right. Still even. The other daughter. For the picture.
My turn.
Well, I'll be brief because you guys get to hear from me all the time. But again, Bishop, it's a great honor. I really appreciate you being here tonight. I had the honor of attending your installation a few years ago at the cathedral when you were installed, and now yours is a little more elaborate than this. But thank you again. There's a couple people I'd like to thank. I won't go through the whole list because it'd take a long time. But as I mentioned, I was kind of suddenly cast into this role in March at the beginning of the pandemic, shortly followed by an officer-involved shooting, shortly followed by civil unrest, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a roller coaster year, to say the least. And I really need to thank in a special way City Manager Stevenson, the City Clerk, Ms. Mooney, and the City Attorney, Pam Chisone. They really jumped into this. We all did, and your staffs did too. The fire chief, police chief, everybody did. And I don't know that we've gotten through it yet, but it's a lot better now than it was in March and April and May. We were really struggling. So I really thank you all for your support. I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the city council for a lot of the same reasons. I mean, you guys really jumped in. We took on a lot of additional responsibilities as we restructured work and board appointments, and everybody jumped right in. You guys have been very supportive and really helped me through this. You don't make a big deal of it when I make stupid mistakes like I did a few minutes ago. You don't beat me up too bad. So I really appreciate you guys. To the public, to the people who supported me when I was first elected in 2016, and they continue to support me. We were very lucky this year that we didn't have to run a campaign. We run a post. I'd like to thank whoever was out there that might have contemplated running against me, because I really, with this year being the way it's been, that would have been a very difficult thing. So I'm thankful for that. But I do want to recognize the supporters, the people that have financially supported me. But even as important as that is the faith that you put in me, and I will continue to strive not to disappoint you. And lastly is my family up here in front. Angela, you understand, right? You understand what this is like. This is not the part-time job that everybody thinks it is, and it's a huge commitment, not only for me, but also for them. The weekend obligations, the meetings at night, all the things that go with this. And so, Meg was very happy to see me retire from the sheriff's office, and she said, you should stay out for a little while and, get a job after a while, and I did. And she says, no, I meant a job that paid, right? And so this is the greatest job that I've ever had. This is a really great job and the worst paying job I've ever had. I made more money as a teenager pumping gas than I do here. But I'm very thankful for the support, the faith that people have put in me, and all the support that I've gotten from all of you. So thank you very much. Next. Next, again, I'll try to be brief, but this one's harder. This one is recognizing Frank Chillura for many, many years of service. And, council members come and go, but most of them come and go in 4 years or 8 years. In Mr. Chillura's case, he's served the city publicly in one capacity or another for almost 25 years. And so that's an incredible, I proud of myself for what I do for the city. He's done it for 25 years, so I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine. Right? So Frank was first appointed to the Code Board in 1996, where he served for 4 years, from 96 until 2000. It's where many of us got our start. And then he was elected to City Council, where he did 2 terms on City Council from 2000 to 2008. And he termed out. And most people would term out and go home and paint the house and catch up a little bit, but Frank didn't do that. He got appointed to the Hillsborough County Planning Commission as the city's appointee. So he served on that for 4 years, from 2008 to 2012. And as if that wasn't enough, in 2012 he decided to run for mayor, and successfully was elected to the office of mayor. Was a very good mayor. I was around those days, and Frank did a great job as the mayor. He served for 4 years, 1 term as the mayor, at which time he did something unprecedented. I hate that word. We've used it too much this year, but did something never done before in Temple Terrace, and that is he left the office of mayor to run back for a seat on the city council. And the reason he did that was because at the time, the mayor didn't get a vote. And so he wanted to change that, and so he did, actually. He got back on the city council where he got a vote, and then he pushed through some very long overdue and much needed charter revisions to our city's charter that was put on the ballot and successfully passed, so that now the mayors from that point forward do get to vote. So you probably want the job back, that's why. So, and now after a term on the city council, I think he's retiring from public service. I think Angela's mentioned that a time or two, but I'm not so sure about that. So I know there are a couple other people that want to comment, but I don't even know where to begin. I could go on and on and on about all the boards and contributions that Frank has made to the city. Over 25 years, there's a lot of things that add up. So Frank, the city certainly has your fingerprints all over it, and a lot of good things that you've accomplished, and you've persevered through the recession and through some difficult times and the redevelopment, and we're all going to miss you very much. And so I know there's some other people that want to talk. I think Mr. Stevenson had a few things he wanted to. Yes, sir.
Frank, it's been a pleasure working with you in the past 16 plus years. When I first came to Temple Terrace, you were a council person, And certainly, it's been a pleasure working with you all these years. You've been a true companion to me in whatever role I've had with the city. And you've been a role model for a lot of things that have happened in the city. For that, I think you ought to be very proud of yourself. You dedicated countless hours of unselfish time to this community, and I think everybody knows that. We can run through a bunch of whereas clauses on a plaque, but it doesn't mean anything unless you really know how much you've dedicated to this community. It certainly is appreciated on my end because you've been really a mentor to me and someone that I can rely on to get a different perspective of things. There have been a lot of times we didn't agree on things, but we were always able to have a conversation about it and get some direction going that made sense for this community. You've been a man of common sense and your integrity, and I've always respected that. I don't know that certainly you still have property here in town. We know that. You're still going to have to deal with us, and you're certainly going to still need city services. And we're not going to treat you any different than we have in the past. But I wanted to thank you for your service to the city. I know from my perspective, in particular, the years that I've been around here, you've been a true friend to me, and certainly a servant to this community. I wish you good luck. You know where to find me. If you need something, please call on me. Okay, thank you.
Council members?
Sure, I'll go. Frank, I've known Frank long before he was a public servant. He'd come up to the rec center back in the early 90s, and we've had a great relationship. Then you started your career, and I appreciate your leadership on council and then as mayor. And during that time, you always provided great leadership. But the one thing he never did was put any political pressure. And I was a department head, so there was a buffer. The council to the city manager didn't deal with me directly. And he never put political pressure on, but he did put sometimes threats. And he did put some pressure on me. And that was to bring his 5 children to the rec center at one time. So I do remember that, but anyway, it's been a pleasure working with you as a department head, as a city employee, and now as on council the last 2 years. And I appreciate your leadership for this community. Thank you.
That's a tough act to follow, but Frank, thank you. You've done a tremendous service to our city. You've been a friend. You've been a mentor. You're part of the reason why I got involved in the political aspect of Temple Terrace and why I'm sitting here. And for that, I thank you. My wife may not thank you, but I thank you. Having said all that, good luck. Thank you. You've left a legacy that will be very difficult to top and won't be able to be topped for many, many years. But good luck, and don't stay a stranger, and maybe we'll see you at trips.
Vice Mayor?
Absolutely. Frank, I've known you for a long time, but I really got to know you when I was with the chamber, because you used to say to me, if I'm supposed to be there, you have to call me and tell me I'm supposed to be there. And then he did. He came to Student Citizen Awards ceremonies. You know, you can be something with the chamber every week if you want to, but you were a busy businessman, but you always made time for the connections that connected your, not just being a city representative, but a citizen who was a city representative. So I appreciate that you were involved, and I know you have a few items that are on your list of things to do, but I hear on good faith that the kids are all going to volunteer to do them until the end of this meeting, and then they'll change after that. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure serving with you.
All yours.
Well, thank you. I'm really humbled by the kindness that you all have shown. It's emotional. You've been here a long time. It's been a heck of a journey, and as all of you have eloquently described, it's been a journey with obstacles, but it's always been for the good of the city. And many years ago, in 95 or 96, had an issue with the city, and I wasn't involved politically, and I came down to City Hall. I said, I want to speak to the mayor. I was really upset that, you know, I was being harassed by a city employee. And the mayor, I go to the mayor's office, and he was a great mayor, Bob Woodard. Any of you that knew Bob Woodard, he was the fabric of Temple Terrace. Great guy. And his wife's still here. His son's here. His family's here. He comes, I go to his office. It was down here next to the city clerk's office. He goes, so how can I help you, son? So I go through the whole spiel, and he goes, yeah, absolutely, no problem. He goes, I'm going to send you up to the city manager, Tom Bonfield. He'll take care of everything. And he goes, you know what? You need to run for city council. So it was his fault. That's
how it
why I
works.
got involved. So anyways, they took care of it. And that's where it started. And I always, and I have this motto in my business, and I've had it in the city. And it is, you know, if you want to make a difference, you got to get involved. The most frustrating thing is when you have residents and people complain and say, why don't you guys do this? It's a great idea. Why don't you get involved? Run for a board, run for council. Because it's all of us coming together. No one person can do it. We all have a piece of the puzzle, a small piece. When you put all those pieces together, then we have the completed puzzle. So, and that's where it started. Many mayors would always complain that the mayor never could vote. One of the only cities in this area, region, that the mayor doesn't vote. Plain City, everywhere else the mayor votes. And a lot of my predecessors would complain about that. I'm like, you know, I did it for 4 years. I'm like, you know, that is a flaw. And when I got off, I started drawing attention to it. And my fellow council members saw that it had validity. So we brought it to the residents, and they said, yeah, let's take it to referendum. And that referendum passed. And I didn't do it for me. I had no interest or desire for running for mayor again. But there was a problem, and I just wanted to help fix it. And that's what we did. We, not I, we did that. The residents and this council brought it forward. And that's what this body is all about. Temple Terrace has embarked on redevelopment, and it's been a long, long take. And I promised my wife 8 years ago that I was not going to run again, and then I ran. And then I said, just one more time, I got to help finish some things. You know, we wanted to do an in-house attorney. We wanted to get redevelopment groundbreaking, which is well underway. The mayor having a vote. There's a laundry list of things. And so that's why I left as mayor and came back as council. So we actually had that opportunity. But in all, you know, it's been a true passion. And I hate to say it, it's almost like an addiction. That you want to do good for your city. This council has been amazing. We've had our days we agree and days we disagree. But at the end, I think we all want the same outcome. I mean, we're looking for the good for the city. We may have a different path of getting there, but that's what we want to do at the end. So this council has certainly been a blessing, and all of you, I want to thank all of you for getting involved. I mean, I think you've been on every board known to Temple Terrace history. I mean, all the T-shirts you have, like 50 of them for the different organizations. She's done a lot. Mr. Chambers, when I used to come to the rec center, you know, 25 years ago, dark hair, single, no kids. And then I got on council, the gray hair, well, I got married, the kids came along, the gray hair came along, so don't stay on council too long because things will happen. They're good things, but things will happen. So, you know, I'm really thankful to all of you for serving. I really want to express my appreciation and to all the residents of Temple Terrace that have had confidence in me. I've run 4 elections in Temple Terrace, been the top vote getter every single time. There's a reason for that. Because you listen, you talk to people, and you want to do the right thing. And that means a lot. And that's what makes you want to keep serving and do what's good for your city. Additionally, one of the greatest passions I have that I've always bragged about Temple Terrace is the employees here are second to none. The police, the fire, the garbage men, all the above. It's like family. You know, city clerk's office, you walk in there and they're very friendly. Just all the way around. It's not a big bureaucracy where you get lost or tangled. You can walk up and talk to the department director. Those are big issues for Temple Terrace that make me proud. And I'm almost done. So, you know, when I did this, as I said, 25 years ago, my life was different. It's been a wonderful journey. I wouldn't change it for anything. My mom and dad were both here. And they have provided a lot of support and foundation to get me to where I've gone. Unfortunately, Mom passed 4 years ago. She's still here in spirit. I'm very lucky to have my dad still. He's probably home watching. And I just want to say thank you for everything. And last, I want to thank my kids for all the sacrifices that they made when, you know, dad's gone on a weekend or dad's not home at night, to do city business. There were sacrifices that were made, but we did it for the good of the city. And last but not least, my wife. I couldn't have did it without you. You've been my rock, my right hand, my left hand, and everything else. So I run off the city council meetings, and she's sitting there at the table with the kids doing homework. Tremendous sacrifices. The sacrifices I made, she outnumbered them 1,000 times so I can do what I wanted to do. And for that, I'm always indebted for that. I will tell you, though, she's a real smart lady because I might get her once and I might get her twice. You know, after my last 2 city council runs, I said, I'm good, I'm done. And then I ran for mayor. She's like, okay. And then after that, got done with mayor. I said, you know, I think I got to go back to council. There's some unfinished business. We need to focus and get this done. She's like, all right, I'll do whatever you want to do. I'll support you. And that's okay. After that, I'm done. So I think she made sure of that. For those of you who don't know, a couple of months ago, we did purchase a house outside the city limits. So she could pretty much be assured and guaranteed that I'm not going to be running for office again in Temple Terrace. So with that, I want to say thank you to my wife, my family, my colleagues, all of the city residents, my friends. Carl's with me tonight and his wife. He's been a very big help throughout the years. Thank you for your friendship and all your support. But thank you all. Thank you for the privilege to be here. It's been a great honor. And I wish you all the best, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Almost done, but not quite. So it's normal city practice to give a clock to an outgoing council member, which we have. surprisingly, it's even set to the right time. This is a city clock.
Did I go over my time?
But we also have a plaque, which is not typical. And I won't read the whole plaque to everybody because it has a lot of whereases, which covers a lot of what we talked about, Frank's service in various capacities. But I do want to read the last clause. And the last clause after all the whereases says that now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and city council of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida, that on behalf of its members, city employees, and the community, the city hereby extends its appreciation and gratitude to Frank M. Chillura for his 24 years of public service to the city of Temple Terrace, dated this first day of December 2020 in the city of Temple Terrace, and it is signed by all four of us. So I got a lot to carry here, but we'll meet down here for a photo, and then don't leave yet. I need you to come back up because we have one other short thing to do after that. And then Meredith is going to scoop you away here.
I won't photobomb you.
So, Angel, how about I give you the plaque, and I'll just, and the sign. And then I'll just I'll give you the plaque, how's that?
Mayor.
Back up here, one more.
It's your last paycheck.
Chief Kemp? Be very brief. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And now, I've got two quick things I want to give you. One on behalf of the firefighters, one on behalf of the pension board. This is normally something we give our firefighter of the year, but I want to thank you on behalf of the fire department. We've been we've gone through a lot together with your family and your mother and your father, and we've been to your home countless times, and you've been there when we've added 6 new firefighters for the SAFER grant. You've been there each time we bought a new apparatus. You've been there when we've decided to buy extra safety equipment for our firefighters. And I want to thank you. And for that, we give you this. This is for your many years of support to the Temple Terrace Fire Department. And one more thing real quick. And this, since everything's going to you. Yes. And then, one other thing that you spent a lot of time away from your family and your business and your kids was when you spent time every quarter for 2 to 4 hours on our pension board. We made a lot of changes, some of them fiscally responsible changes for the city, where we made some good changes to help the budget of the city. And we also made some changes recently. For example, added an extended drop plan, which allows me as the fire chief to grab and retain good employees. So for that, the pension board thanks you for being on the board for those days and times. So in recognition for your service and devotion to the City of Temple Terrace Firefighters Pension Board, with our appreciation, Temple Terrace Fire Department. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is for you as well.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Appreciate all the support. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here you
plaques aren't that bad. The best of you. Your family.
Next, I'd like to welcome incoming council member Meredith Abel to come forward, please. Welcome, Miss Abel.
Thank you.
Who do you have with you today?
This is my daughter Zora.
Laura. Hi, Laura.
Zora, with a Z.
Oh, you get the honors today? Very good. Laura, you want to tell them where to?
State your name. I, Meredith Abel,
A citizen of the state of Florida
a citizen of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America,
and of the United States of America,
and being employed by or an officer of the city of Temple Terrace,
and being employed by or an officer of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
and a recipient of public funds as such employee or officer,
and the recipient of public funds as such employee or officer,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Florida.
and of the state of Florida.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will in all respects
I will in all respects
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
observe the provisions of the Charter and ordinances
of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
of the city of Temple Terrace, Florida,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of city council member.
of the office of city council member.
Look here, sweetie.
Welcome, council member Abel.
You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to say a few, I'm sure you have a few remarks.
I do have a few.
All right.
First of all, I'm really honored to be up here. First, I would like to thank the other folks up here who have really put a lot into the service of the city. Now that I have run for office, I know that it is no small task to put yourself out there and jump through all the hoops you need to do to make $230 per month. And it really demonstrates a high level of dedication to the city. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge the long service of Mr. Chillura, which really left some big shoes to fill. And like he said, don't complain, step up if you want to make a difference. And that's advice that I'll certainly take to heart. In addition, I'd like to express my gratitude to the other candidates who ran for this position, Mr. Pagorlich and Mr. Kawaja. It takes a lot of courage to run for office, and I appreciate the insights and experience that they demonstrated. I would also like to take a moment to introduce my parents, Tom and Becky Abel, who came here tonight from my hometown of Lakeland. My dad let me borrow all of his power tools for the entire year, and they came in very handy a lot of times. And my mom helped edit a lot of my stuff that I put online, so that was really helpful. In addition, my sister Colleen is also here, and I'd like to thank her for listening to the day-by-day, play-by-play of what it took to run for office. And she also cooked dinner for me pretty much every night for the last 3 months, so basically kept me alive, which is no small feat. My other sister Catherine also lives in town, but she couldn't make it today, and she was the one who assured me that due to the two of them, I would at least have 2 votes. finally, I'd like to thank my daughter, Zora, who was the first person who I talked to about running for office, and whose buy-in and excitement was what made this possible. And she wrote notebooks full of campaign slogans that I'm never going to repeat. So I'm really grateful for that. During my campaign, I often thought of the example that I was setting for her and about showing her what it takes to step up. And what I didn't anticipate was the number of former students, because I'm a high school science teacher, who reached out, and the number of parents with young children, sons and daughters, who thanked me for the example that I was setting for their children. And this means so much to me, showing the younger generation and older folks alike that this can be done as a newcomer and as an atypical candidate. I've made many new friends along the way, and I have hundreds of individuals to thank, and I can't even begin to list them. But their contributions made a huge difference. Finally, to the people of Temple Terrace, thank you for believing in me. Thank you for your very substantial vote of confidence, and I'm humbled by it. And though I know I can't please everybody all of the time, I take this position very seriously, and I will always do my best. So thank you all very much.
Welcome, Councilmember Abel, and we've all been here, and you go right from running a campaign to you've jumped into the swimming pool now. So, couple of brief things under new business we have. Mr. Chambers, I think you had some.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I want to remind everybody that this Saturday night at the rec center is the lighted golf cart parade. It goes through the north side of the city along the golf course. If you want to be in the parade, get your golf cart, sign up at the rec center. It starts at 7 o'clock. Parade staging is at 6 o'clock. So come out. If you want to watch it, just there's nice signs out along the parade route put out. It's along the golf course, again on the front side, north of Bullard. But there's a lot of opportunity to watch the parade and to be in the parade. So,
Thank you. Vice Mayor Donahue, did you have something?
I do. Back when we all started the lockdown, acting mayor at the time said to Mr. Chambers and I, because of our involvement in the Arts Council, let's give the people something to do. You know, we got to lift their spirits. So the Arts Council had several projects that it pulled off, and so we're not finished because as we close in to aim for 2021, we're kicking off another project for you, the citizens. It's called Share Your Vision for 21, and we will be providing blank signs. Guess what they are? Old campaign signs. All of us have donated to the effort. They're painted white, so we'll pass them out. You send us an email and tell us you want to participate. We'll deliver the sign to you. You can put on that sign anything you like that shows what you're hoping for 2021, and it's up to you. Use your creativity. We'll post them in the sign in your yard, your own yard. Take a picture. We'll put it on Facebook or what have you, and share the good news for our hopes for the future. So if you're interested at all, you can reach out by email to ttartscouncil. I hope you can hear that through my mask at gmail.com. And the only cost is your time. So I hope you'll participate. Thank you.
You, Mr. Sisler, anything? City Manager, anything?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just take a moment to welcome our new council member. We spent a couple days together already, kind of showing her some of the workings of the city. I think it was pretty informative for her. So we look forward to continue working, and congratulations to you, Mr. Mayor. We've been working together for 8 months, but certainly it's been a pleasure. Look forward to continuing that relationship. So congratulations to everybody.
Thank you. City Attorney? City Clerk, as everybody knows, I am not a good party planner, so would you please explain to everybody what you have in store here in terms of tents or coffee or whatever you have?
So after the council meeting, will they be allowed to go through the building, or do they have to go around the building?
We can send them through the building.
So out through the other entrance, There's a tent set up. We have some little goodies that you can stop and congratulate the council people, and the goodies are to bring home so we're not spreading any germs. So there's little boxes of candy and little cupcakes individually packaged, and we have some hand sanitizer with the city logo on it.
Wow.
Very good. So, thank you again to everybody. Thank you to our guests. Angela, the kids, it's been great to see you guys. Frank, thanks again. Thank you, Bishop, again for making the drive across. I know you and Father Carl have a long drive, so appreciate that. And with that, we will stand adjourned.